Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necroneil.
There's a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Yes, indeed. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's stream. Welcome to Beyond Authentic and in fact, Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. And in fact, I have something to show ready. I have something to show you and I'm quite proud of it, even though, wow, you'll see. Are you ready? This is the new website. Look at the website. It is very basic at the moment. It doesn't have as much stuff on it as I would like, but we have the website. The website is now up and running. So if you want to, you can go across to beyondauthentic.co.uk, where you can just see a bit more about what I do. There's some bits on there about the tarot, witchcraft, and all sorts of bits and pieces. And that will also be where hopefully I will be listing any events and things that I am doing later this year. So do keep an eye out for that. It's exciting times. It really is. It's been a long time since I've done the circuit or even anything like this, way before COVID, way before the COVID. So yes, if you would like to go over there, go and have a look. It all links back to Buy Me a Coffee and to Fiverr and all of that stuff. Everything links back. There's a YouTube page which links back. There's a bit on there which tells us a bit about liminal witchcraft. So yeah, go and have a little look-see if you want to know a little bit more. But that's... Oops, hang on. How do I get this back to me? Oh, hang on. I've lost it. There we go. We are professionals here, remember? We are definitely professionals here. So there we go. Right. I am back on my normal screen. I must say, my setup here at the moment on StreamYard is looking very different to normal. I don't quite know what I've done. I've changed something and it's changed everything else. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, are we all excited for the coronation this weekend? I forgot it was this weekend. So that's how excited I am about everything. So yes, woohoo, woo. That's me waving my invisible flag. Anyway, let's crack on with some tarot readings tonight, shall we? So let's see who we've got in the live stream. We've got Flower Beauty. Good evening, Flower Beauty. Namaste to you, my darling. We've got Ed. Hello, Ed. Very funny photo, Ed, on that the end of that video. It's just your face going, hello. Oh, it was just, hello. Oh, it was giggle. It made me giggle. June, hi, good evening to June. Good evening to Patricia. Good evening to Paridi. Good evening to Wolf Boyo. We've got you here, Wolf Boyo. Hi, everyone. Bolto's moved vets now. Hurrah. And having a lot of tests done this week to find out why he's so poorly. Oh, no worries, my darling. Oh, give him a big old kiss and a cuddle and a kiss and a cuddle and a big old wet nose from us. So yes, apologies for Sunday. I don't know what happened. I was just finishing up Ed's reading on Sunday. Good evening to Nayu94. It was a photobomb. It was a proper... I'm here as well. Hello. It's funny. What was I saying? I was saying something then. Yes, so we were just doing the finishing up on a reading on Sunday, and my entire internet went down, and it didn't come back up until into the early hours or the late night or whatever time, however you want to look at it, of Monday. It was absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, and unfortunately, my phone in here, I have no signal, so I can just about get WhatsApp and what's it called? Amazon Alexa messages when the Alexa is literally sat behind me. I can just about pick those messages up. It's not very good in here. But anyway, I know. Well, I didn't disappear. I was here going, hello, hello, can you hear what's frozen? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Absolutely bonkers. So yes, Naidu, if you want to ask a question, you do have to start the word with the word question. That's how it works on this channel. Start with the word question. The ticker tape is running at the bottom of the screen. Just put question and then put your question into the live chat, and that will get picked up and it will get read at random. So this is really important to remember, right? The questions that come in, they will be read at random. Please do stick around until your reading happens, or like on Sunday, apologies, Flower Beauty, until the internet crashes and we all perish in a flaming no not perish, we all end up going rah and tearing our hair out at technology, because when it works, and when it doesn't, it really screws everything up. But it was all good. It was all good. It was all good. It was fine. I didn't stress about it too much. But yes, do make sure you stick around for your reading, because invariably the last few weeks we are losing 3, 4, 7 people, and we're calling them for readings and they're just not here. So that's why we're randomizing it now. Basically, you've just got to wait. You've just got to wait. Unfortunately, the only thing you can do if you don't want to wait is to QJump. And you can do that by going across to to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. So if you want to QJump and get your reading ahead of the queue, it becomes the next reading that we pull. Then that is the only way to do it. Hit that QJump. And also, because we are now in May, I am doubling up the contribution in May that we make to the bladder cancer charity. So if you don't know, if somehow you're new here, last year I had bladder cancer. I've got another scan sometime this month to go and get it checked again. But at the moment, the cancer isn't around. So at the moment, we're doing okay. But there are 2 charities that absolutely helped me out no end last year with information and support. One was called Fight Bladder Cancer, and the other one was Action Bladder Cancer UK. I think that's the right way around. One's got UK on the end and one hasn't. Anyway, what we've been doing since last year is 10% of all donations, all bookings for tarot readings, everything. 10% goes to either to both of those charities. So one gets 10%, the other gets 10% as well. And what I'm doing for the whole of May is I'm doubling that to 20%. And you might say, well, why don't you give it all to charity? Because unfortunately, I am a skint YouTuber and I've got to pay, I think it's $25 a month for StreamYard, and then I've got to pay for my editing suite, and then I've got to pay for all the podcasting stuff, which I'm still paying for, even though we haven't done a podcast in a few weeks, and all of that. So yeah, it's very expensive. So for May, we're going to double up to 20% to each of those 2 charities. So if you buy a reading and it's £10, then £2 goes to Fight Bladder Cancer and £2 goes to Action Bladder Cancer UK. Bladder cancer is horrendously hard to catch in the early stages, and normally by the time you start showing symptoms is by the time you need things like surgeries, which is what I had to go through. So yeah, hopefully that story is going to come to an end this summer, and I won't need to worry too much about that in future. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. I am holding firm to that at the moment. But what else do I have to tell you today? Nothing really. The website's up and running. That's about it. Let's crack on. I might try a different deck again today. I've got the Vice Versa deck with me, and I do also have the Lightseers Tarot. Now, it's one that I had as a mini, because somebody gave me a little mini one, and now I've got the full size, the proper one. So I might try using that tonight. I don't know. Let's have a look. Of course, Wolf Boyo, what would you like to know, my darling? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh gosh. There's loads of comments. Oh, I've got it. I can see what's happening. Yes. So thank you for your questions in. They have been flagged and starred and all the rest of it by our lovely Ed in the chair. And yeah, that's come through. Lovely. Thank you, Flower Beauty. It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. 2 surgeries last year, some chemo stuff put in and all of that, but it'll be fine. So then we're going to crack on. we are going to crack on with some readings. I've got some. Let me just. What do we think about this music in the background? I really like it. I'm loving this sound, by the way. It sounds a little bit like a smooth jazz kind of thing. This would be in my head, right? This would be a film, like one of those Sunday afternoon films where not a lot happens. And this would be like the couple in America who are traveling interstate, and it's a montage of all their adventures as they travel interstate, stop off at a gas station and buy some jerky, and then they get back on and they go somewhere else, and then there's a thunderstorm and they have to run, and you've got the girl with the newspaper on her head, and then she laughs and he laughs as well, and ha ha ha, isn't this all funny? It'll be like that sort of montage, you know what I mean? It feels like it's sort of a little bit Blues Brothers-y, but a little bit kind of Raising Arizona-y. Oh yeah, and we've got, well, do you want to grab me one of them? Pass me one of them. While I'm talking nonsense before we start the readings, we've got a new thing for the doggos. It's so cool. It is so cool. Mainly it's for Eddie, our youngest. So, oh, I don't need all of them. We got 4 of these. Oh, okay. You're training me now. We got 4 little things. And what you got to do...
Garden.
And then you go...
Find my ball.
I brought him indoors. So he started
Find my ball.
Has he?
Yep, already.
Oh, that's cool. Right, hang on. I'm going to turn the music off. Right, so we've got these different...
Dinner.
So...
The ball in.
This is what we're teaching Eddie, so that when he basically, if he wants to go outside,
Garden.
he has to press that, whether he wants to go for a play
Find my ball.
or whether he just wants to go out for a wee.
Garden.
And then we've got
Meow.
like this.
Meow.
Where's the cats?
Meow.
Where's the cats?
Meow.
And then
Dinner.
what is it? Is it dinner time?
Dinner.
Nearly.
Dinner.
He's going.
Find my ball.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to teach him how to speak to us.
Yes, I know that's your ball.
Oh gosh. Here then, love.
He's like, yes, that's my ball. He says,
Yeah.
Find my ball.
where's your ball?
So they're so cool, aren't they
He's
cool?
giving it to me now.
There we go. Thank you. They are so cool. So our little Eddie.
So come and chase me.
All right. Our little Eddie is going to be learning that. And we've got 2 other doggos, but unfortunately the 2 older girls, the oldest one is like 13. So she's not going to learn anything now. And the middle one, unfortunately, the middle one is a little bit slow. She's got some special needs. So yeah, so that's the other thing that we've been doing. God, you've been listening to Queen Anne Bowie today. That's very cool. Is that because of the coronation? You're getting all excited. So yes, Paridi, we called you last week again and you weren't here. So if that happens again, my darling, we're not going to be able to accept any more questions because we're just taking your question in session after session and then you're disappearing. And then you're not getting to your question. It's just wasting everybody's time, my darling. So this is why it's really important. If you are asking for a reading, just stick around until we get to it. I'm here until 9 o'clock. Fingers crossed with the interwebs, as I am each and every Tuesday and Sunday. So hopefully we'll get through plenty of them. I normally get through between 7 or 8 readings. And that can be more if people stick around. So if you stick around for the reading, then we get through more, which means there's more chance of you getting your reading. Indeed. Right then, let's crack on. I'm going to have a look and see who is up first. Oh, Patricia feels full. That sounds good. What did you have, Patricia? What did you have? What did you have for tea? Chicken ham pie and spicy wedges. Oh, we've got steak. Nothing exciting. We've got steak, some bacon, some eggs, some mushrooms, a little bit of sweet potato that we cooked. And so we're going to basically do like a mixed grill. Quite looking forward to that, I must say. So we're going to have that about 9 o'clock when we finish. You've got 16 energy drinks to work through, Wolfboyer. That's not healthy. I've got a coffee from Costa We just went to Costa, so I've got a cold Americano with oat milk. So yes, if you ever wonder about the buy me a coffee thing up here, right? If you ever wonder why it's when you click on it and you go through, you've got all these random options. It's because I am literally a coffee addict. I was just looking in Costa again today at more of the cups, because I think I've got just about every main release of cup designs they've done, I've had. And when that's gone, I've even got a coffee kombucha to follow it up with. So when I say I'm addicted to coffee, literally addicted to coffee. So yeah. Anyway, right, let's have a little look. See, wasn't in prep of the coronation, was bored, so went for a drive and got Spotify on. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Are you sure? Because are you not dead excited for the king? Anyway, let's move on, everybody. Let's start some tarot readings. Right, let's have a look and see. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that's a little bit cringe with it all? Because it's in every single shop. Like, oh, have a street party. People around here wouldn't do that. They wouldn't would get together, but only because, you know, it's a sunny day or something. But nobody would get together and watch the coronation around here. Are you having a laugh? You're having a laugh. Anyway, just bear in mind, everybody, this is not your grandmother's tarot. No, no, no. We do things a little bit different on this channel. Yeah, to tell you more about that, here's a news bulletin.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Yes, indeed. Do not watch if easily offended. I do have a slight habit of using the bad cursey words. So if you don't like bad cursey words, then you're in the wrong fucking place, really. There's all I can say to that. But anyway, right, Flower Beauty, my darling, come and say hello in the live chat. You are going to be our first cab off the rank today. So we are excited to get you in. Thank you. Thank you. We were more excited than that, weren't we? We were. So then we would also like a glorious like spike. If you are watching this on the live, please do hit that thumbs up button. That would be glorious. I will defend. I will defend. Right then, we're going straight into the tarot reading. So Flower Beauty, you are up. I'm going to take this this banner off so I can actually see what we're doing. And you are going to be up straight after this. Yes, indeed. We've got the Lightseers Tarot on the show tonight, along with the vice versa. I might even pull out the Poppy Palin Enchantment, Everyday Enchantment Tarot deck as well. But this deck, I just love how this deck feels, to be honest. Right, so then, Flower Beauty, your question, dragons. Oh, God, hang on a second. Hang on, everybody. Stop, pause. Hold on. Hang on. I've got a button for that. Hang on. I forgot something really important. There we go. Right. Before I get going, everybody, I have to say, sorry, Flower Beauty, I get into your reading in 2 seconds. I've got to say before we start that tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you're looking for support in those areas, as always, please do seek out a professional in those areas. I am not a professional. I have a little bit of counseling training, but that is not the same as being a professional in any of those areas. So if you are looking for that level of support, please do seek out professional assistance. Also, you've got to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And do please bear in mind that we are live on the interwebs, which basically means anything you ask can potentially hang around a lot longer than you think. So the reading that I do for you today, even if I cancel this channel, delete everything in 5 years time, 2 years time, whatever, even if I delete all of the readings that I've done, thanks to the Wayback Machine and the way that Google bots and all these sort of things capture the way that the internet is now, it's still going to be possible for people at some point in the future to be able to pick up the readings like we can today with the Wayback Machine. So if you don't want any of that happening, if you don't want your personal information spread hither and thither all over the webs, then do please go across here and book a private reading, because when we get into the tarot readings, they can be quite intense and they can reveal things that you might not want everybody knowing. That being said, we're going to crack into it today. Flower Beauty, I'm going to do your timestamp again because that wasn't fair, because I forgot to do the doodahs, the doodah bits, you know, the what's it called? Not discretion. What's it called? Disclaimer. My brain is not functioning great. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then we'll do your reading straight after this. Here we go. Let's do that again. Yes, indeed. Right then. So we have Flower Beauty, dragons. We've got Flower Beauty, who is still here from Sunday, basically. They haven't gone home. They've just sat here waiting for you, dragons. That's what they've done since Sunday. Flower Beauty has done nothing else, just waiting for this reading. So Flower Beauty would like to know, what are his current thoughts and intentions towards me? That's what we'd like to know, dragons. What are his current thoughts and intentions towards Flower Beauty? That's what we'd like to know. So then let's have a look. Right, let's try a riffle. This is a nice deck to do a riffle with, but I am not very good at riffle shuffling because my hands do not want... See, I just end up bending the deck. Right, we're going to try this one more time. Come on, hands. Oh dear, that's not too bad, I guess. Well, yeah, not great, not a good riffle anyway. Right, let's do your cut, Flower Beauty. I think I've just bent some of the cards, never mind. That's your cut, and there's no modifier, so you're... Come on, this cloth needs to... I need to get a new tarot cloth. That's what I need to do. Right then, so we've got 3 cards, 2 of which are reversed. So in the past position, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is normally for me about work and career, finances, that sort of thing. Let me just turn that light off. There you go. That sort of thing. But it's also new projects. Now, this has come up in the past. Now, what I like about this deck is you can see here, look at the roots. Look at the roots, and this is growing. So this is all about growth. Now, this has come up reversed, which means it feels like in the recent past, this relationship has kind of felt stagnant or stroke on stroke, like it's over. And it almost feels like it's more work than it's worth. Does that make sense? Because we've got the Pentacles. So a lot of tarot readers will read this just as being what's it called? Career and finance. But it can be any type of work at all. So it feels very much like the relationship was difficult and was just... I don't know whether you were in a relationship for a while or whether this was more something that was kind of almost, I don't want to say dead on arrival, but kind of dead on arrival. Does that make sense? It's kind of like it never properly got rooted because it's already reversed before the roots have got a chance to bed in. In the present position, we've got the Six of Cups, but the Six of Cups is reversed. Now, the Six of Cups in this case, we're looking at children and adults. We're looking at the passage of time, but we're looking at this celebration of life. For me, the sixes are all about these celebrations. They are absolutely stunning. Now, Cups is your emotional soup. So Cups will be saying that you've got a lot going on at the moment, all to do with your feelings, your emotions, how you are attracted to people, what's going on with all of that. Now, specifically with this being reversed, I think that you're oh, hang on, where's your question gone? Where's your question gone? Oh, that's better. God, right. I with this, the fact you're asking about what his current thoughts and intentions are towards you, I think that he is. Oh, how can I put it politely? I think he's happy being not in the picture so much. Does that make sense? Because this is reversed. It's like he's not. The energy isn't all about getting close and being wonderful and being, you know, this celebration of life together and of like emotions. And this isn't that. This is something very different. And it feels almost like, do you know what this is? Do you know what this feels like? Right? Flower Beauty. I don't know where you are in the world, but here in the UK, Charles is about to be officially crowned and have his coronation and everything, right? And certain parts of society are like, woohoo, we're going to have street parties and we're going to, like, you know, wear red, white and blue. It's going to be this wonderful thing. We're going to do this parties and everyone's going to, and other parts of society are just like, yeah, it's just another day. Just got a bank holiday, innit? And there's a lot of apathy around it. And this feels very much like that. It's like an apathy. You're asking specifically what his thoughts and feelings are. I don't think he really minds either way, to be honest. I think it's kind of like, because this six is reversed, it's like, well, the celebration didn't really feel that celebratory and not really missing much, I guess, is the kind of what it comes down to. And then we've got the really curious one, because in the future position, the to come energy, we've got the Nine of Cups. Now, you can see here, we've got this I don't really can see here. We've got this golden chest, this treasure chest that is open. And then the energy of the cups, because normally cups represent water. So potentially this is underwater. Although it looks like clouds, this is the surface of the water. And this person is just floating up with the sun's energy coming through. But what we've got here is this person who is just absolutely reveling in where they are right now. So this element of cups, this element of emotions, it feels like it's going to shift. Okay, now I'm really reticent, Flower Beauty, about saying the energy is going to shift and it's all going to be wonderful and you're going to be in a relationship in a few months' time. I'm really reticent about saying that, because these first two cards are so, how can I put it? They're so like whoever he is, he doesn't want a relationship right now. He's not ready for it. This isn't the right time, blah, 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 blah. Right? These cards are so adamant that this isn't the right time or space for him. And then we get to this one coming up in the future and it's like, oh, well now, and it almost feels, Flower Beauty, like this card is representing either a booty call or like, I'm going to snap my fingers and then you'll come running. That's what it feels like. And this feels very disconnected. So dragons, I'm going to pull one more card. And what I want, we're going to use the top card. What I want, dragons, is I want a clarity on what is going to change between the energy we've got now and the energy we've got to come, because this feels like this doesn't feel real. I don't know why, but this does not feel real. So what I want, dragons, with one card is a clarity card in the middle here. And that is, oh, it's the Page of Cups reversed. Right. Oh God, he's a child. That makes sense. Right. Okay. So look, that's the Page of Cups upright. Okay. See something weird going on? The bottom of the legs are at the top and the bottom. Yeah. So it's the Page of Cups. Now, for me, pages always represent young, childlike energy. And it's that thing of, I want it and I want it now. It's that childlike attitude. Now, the thing is, this was reversed. And because this was reversed, I think it's basically his childishness, his I don't think it's that he wants you. I think it's that he doesn't want anyone else to want you. That's what this feels like, right? And it feels like, because we've got now 3 reversed cards and then this, it feels like this, to me, this just feels so artificial. And so that's why this feels really dodgy to me. I don't know why. So my advice would be, my darling, again, it's just guidance. You make all your own decisions about your own life. My advice would be, you're asking specifically, what does his current thoughts and intentions? I would say, generally, he hasn't got much thought and intention towards you, in all honesty, until if you start looking at somewhere else, or you start, somebody else starts sniffing around, then it may well be that he gets a little bit jealous, and then he comes interested and tries to do the big emotional kind of thing. But this doesn't feel real, and I don't know why I've got that impression. But hopefully, Flower Beauty, that makes sense. Yeah, that is your reading for today. Thank you ever so much for your question. So then, yeah, I hope that helps, Flower Beauty. And yeah, as I say, let us know how things go. But the very, very, very best of luck to you, my darling. Oh gosh, hang on, there we go. Every time I move my mouse, if I hover over slightly the wrong place, then I end up with having this weird thing that comes up and tries to give me lots of news information. It's like, oh, we're just updating. Look, this is Google. Google's telling us this, and look what update and all these other things are telling. So I don't know what they are. Aquawitch, I believe you can still ask some questions. Yes. Oh, no problem, Flower Beauty. I hope it helps, my darling. I really do. Sorry, it's probably not what you wanted to hear, however. But as I always say, I can only give you the information that the dragons and the cards give me. I can't, I can't tell you what you want to hear. I can only tell you what you need to hear, my darling. But hopefully that makes sense. And anyway, just be a bit forewarned, innit? Just a bit forewarned. If he comes round knocking in a month's time and starts being like, oh, hi, so I hear you've been seeing someone else and now I'm interested, you'll be like, ding, 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 red flag, warning, warning, warning. You know what I mean? Forewarned. Anyway, my darling, best of luck to you. And I hope that everything goes wow. Oh, no problem, my darling. Thank you very much. Right then, let's have exactly. Yes, I know, right? Better to know. Better to know. So June, are you here, my darling? And then we'll have Wolf Boyo. I know Wolf Boyo's here. Wolf Boyo's here every session. He's one of our lovely community members. Do you know what? This is one of the reasons, in all honesty, June, just come and say hello in the chat. This is one of the reasons why I love this channel. This channel is so great because it's so friendly and so warm, that it does mean that, if you put something in the chat and people are like, oh, I've been there, don't you worry, my darling, like, oh, you'll get a new job, you'll get a new husband, he's not worth it, you're worth more than him. You'll get all of that in the feedback in the community. You'll get people in the chat basically saying, look, Paridi, I'm asking for Dune. Dune is the next person that we've called, but and then Wolf Boyo, and then you'll get people that basically come in and say, oh, last week I told you about this. Well, this is what's happened since, and it's an amazingly friendly community, which I love. So then, no, Paridi. The order that I read them is the order that I am drawn to them. They're not the order that and you're not, because June came in at 1903 and your question came in at 1904. So you're actually a minute behind Dune. So you weren't immediately after Flower Beauty, my darling. And this is why when we say that there is a list, there is a rough order, and I'm drawn to certain questions and certain people. And as I've said many, many times, keep harassing us in the chat and you're not going to get I'm just not going to read for you. It's that simple. It really is that simple. If you one more time, Paridi, and I'm sorry to say this on a live, but one more time that you come in and then almost demand or give this entitled attitude that you deserve a reading, A, you're not paying for it. B, there's other people that were actually ahead of you in the queue anyway. C, I don't read people in the order that they come in. I read people depending on who hasn't had a reading before, who I'm drawn to, what the dragons are telling me, all of that information. And 4, if you want a reading immediately, there is a method to do it, and it's called QJumping. You can go and donate up here and you can QJump. That is the only way to do it. And the more that you holler on in the chat each and every session, the more that the mods will just ban you, and then they'll end up just stripping you from banning you from the channel. So unfortunately, that's the way of it. That might sound really harsh, but we've got 7, 8 readings in, lots of people wanting readings, and there is a flow to it. So as I said, June was the next person I called. If June doesn't come in and hasn't commented, then basically what I will do is I will move to Wolf Boyo. After that, I will look and see who's next and who I'm drawn to and what the questions are. Okay, so it's basically I have never and will never be swayed by entitlement, ever, ever, ever. I have worked with massive celebrities who are multi-million-pound contracts people, and I treat them the same as the person in a venue that's, you know, filling up the beer tab or wiping down tables. There is nothing that you can do to sway me in any way, shape or form when it comes down to entitlement, because I think it's bullshit. Sorry, my love. But yeah, just be warned, and that goes for absolutely everybody on the channel. I will try and do my best to get to as many people as possible, and I will do it with love and compassion. And all of this is free. I'm not asking for anything in return apart from a subscribe and a like. That's all I ask. That's the energy exchange. Anything more than that, then then any more entitlement than that, and I will just ban people. So thank you. Aqua Witch, apparently your question is in. See, I said it was in. Right, Dune, this is your last call out. It's technically, it's been longer than 30 seconds. But anyway, this is your last call for Dune. Dune. If you're not here, my darling, we are going to move on to the next person. And then you will actually have missed your turn. So you've got 12 seconds, Dune, on the countdown. And then, unfortunately, you would have missed it. And you were asking for a financial question as well. Oh, June. Oh, that's it. The 20 seconds is gone. The time has counted down. That means you are our first person to get one of these tonight. Oh, no. That's the first one gone. Wolf Boyo, I know you're here in the live. You better be, Wolf Boyo. You better be here in the live, Wolf Boyo. Yes, I know. I'm into witchcraft, but I can't work miracles. Well, funny you should say that. No, watch this space. No, I don't. I can. You know how certain people used to be able to turn water into wine? I can do it the other way around. If I drink a bottle of wine, about an hour later, I'm passing it as water. It's amazing. It's an amazing technique. It's a wonderful ability. So yes, right then, let's crack on. Wolf Boyo, you are up straight. I talk some nonsense, don't I? Straight after this. There we go. 38 minutes and 30 seconds exactly into the live. And let's have a look. So then, oh no, that's not your question. That's your comment. Here we go. General reading, please. Of course, my darling, a general reading, dragons, for Wolf Boyo. There we go. Actually, hang on 1 second. Let's do a smudge. Let's do a proper smudge. Let's just cleanse it everywhere. There we go. Oh, my smudge. Oh, I was just showing it to the microphone then. The Beyond Authentic Smudge Spray. Oh, it does smell. It does smell. Oh, no, don't fall over. It does smell really nice. Right then, let's have a look. So, dragons, we want a general reading, please, for the lovely Wolf Boyo. And yeah, so let's just see, dragons, what is coming up this month, and maybe a little peek into June. That's what we want for May, and a little peek into June. Let's have a look then. We want some good news, ideally, for Wolf Boyo. That's what we want, isn't it, Wolf Boyo? We want a good change of fortune, if possible, dragons. Right, one more round, and then that is it. There we go. And then do your cut. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, it's a low cut. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why. I always say I wasn't expecting that. And yet, oh God, we've got 3 reversed cards. Wow. Right. Okay. So in the energy that you've got at the moment, we've got temperance, but this is about, because it's reverse, Wolf Boyo, this is the energy that is like with you now, that you are just about to try and leave. This is the energy that's been around you throughout April. Normally temperance is talking about patience, and to temper something is to literally harden it from within. Like steel, you temper steel and you heat it and cool it and heat it and cool it, and you fold it and do all these things to it, and it becomes tempered, which means it becomes a lot harder and a lot stronger. That takes time. So temperance is talking about things that, you know, you can get through, and it takes time. But this is reversed, so it's literally talking about like time's running out now, or it's not so much that time's running out, it's that you're getting impatient. It's like, come on, I just need to move on now. The energy needs to shift. We need to make a move. We need to get cracking with something. It's like that energy. It's one of those things where, you know, when you're a kid and your mum and dad makes the mistake, or whoever, they make the mistake of saying, oh, it's nearly the school holidays. And then you're like, oh, is that next week? Is it the week? Is it 2 weeks? And it turns out it's like 3 months away. But you don't know, because you're so little. You're just like, oh, it's coming up soon. So every day you're like, is it the school holidays this day? Is it the school holidays tomorrow? Is it school holidays? And eventually you give up, because it's, you know, 3 months when you're like 5 or 6, 7 years of age might as well be an eternity. So it's that sort of energy that's coming in, Wolf Boyo. This impatience is like, come on, we should have done this already. We should have been past this point. And because this is a major arcana, it's like, we really should have been past this point. It's really getting quite frustrating and quite annoying at the moment that this, everything keeps getting put on hold, everything keeps getting delayed, and this patience you're being asked to just bear with us, we're doing the best we can, we'll get there. It's like, no, come on, this should be happening. In the present, we've got the King of Cups, so there's a lot of, again, quite nice emotional energy around. Now, normally the King of Cups would be quite a stable card, because the kings are stable by their nature, and quite an authoritarian card, potentially an older male figure. I mean, I'm not being funny, but Rufus is starting to get a few grey hairs, and I must admit, I do like him with a few grey hairs. So yeah, there's quite a bit on here about this being normally quite a positive card, but it's coming up reverse. Now, for me, this reversal is talking about, I think that the issue that we've got here with this patience thing, I think this authority element is something that's saying it's beyond your control at the moment. And I think that whatever this emotional connection is with this authority figure in your emotional side of things, in the cups, I think it's something that you're struggling with in terms of, right, okay, I think that this is saying that you might need some support that goes beyond just friends and, you know, all of that. This to me is saying, and again, this is not medical advice or counseling advice, but what I'm saying is, this card following this one, and with this coming up, with the swords coming up, my non-tarot head would say, put it this way, Wolf Boyer, right? If you were a friend of mine in reality, in real life, in person, face to face, and real life IRL, all of that stuff, I would probably be saying something like, are you all right? Do you think you should need to, do you think you need to like ring a doctor, or maybe see if you can get someone to talk to professionally to help you through this bit? And this bit is where the king comes in, because I think there's a lot of emotional upheaval. There's a lot of emotional change. And whereas the king is normally quite stable, because, you know, it's a king, we've also got this water element to take to take on board, literally on board. And this boat in the background, you see, it looks fine while the waters are nice and clear. But when this card is reversed, these waters become choppy. And when this card is reversed, everything becomes a lot less stable. The sea becomes rougher. Everything becomes a lot harder to deal with. And so I think, in all honesty, that the cards are basically saying, look, you're being bloody patient, but things are not going to go overnight. Things are not going to get amazingly better. So if you need to get some support emotionally, because this is your emotional support, if you need to get some emotional support, then reach out and actually do something about it before the water gets too rocky. water choppy, not rocky, choppy. You know what I'm trying to say. And then this is the card yet to come. It's the Four of Swords. Now, actually, of the swords cards, because you know that for me, swords is trouble and strife. Of the swords, this is actually one of the better ones that you could have, because it is a 4, which when we think of the 4 cards, we think of four table legs. So you're thinking of something that is stable and supportive. Now, I did say about the stability with the king. So interestingly, that this word comes up again with the 4. Now, it is reversed, which means there is some unexpected challenges to come. But because this is coming in the shape of the 4, you can see, even though this person, I mean, look, this person could have been kidnapped, taken up to this like random bird of prey's nest, and now they're lying there, and what's going to happen? Oh, are they going to get eaten? At the moment, they're just having a nice little nap. You know what I mean? It's like the giant condor that's going to pick them up and off they go and do this and do that. All of that isn't going to happen just yet, because right now they're just having a nice little nap, and it's kind of like that. So even though the challenge is coming, and even though I think that it's going to be, I don't think that May is going to be easy for you. I think it's actually going to be a little bit more stable, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't quite know what you've got happening at the moment, Wolf Bio, but it kind of feels like there's going to be this balance, and that even though there's quite a few challenges, they're going to be stuff that you can deal with, right? So I think you're still going to need to have this patience, because that's why it's coming through as a major. I think you're still going to have this emotional kind of up and down, this roller coaster sort of, you know, choppy ocean to deal with. And that, I would absolutely say, if that is accurate, you know, speak to somebody about getting some support for that. But I think the challenges that are coming your way this month are going to be a little bit more what's it, oh god, what's the word, a little bit more foreseeable. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, if you know you didn't pay that parking fine in 2022 and it's outstanding and you've got a court date coming up, then this is like, you know, you've got to go to court. It's no big surprise. If, however, you've paid that parking fee in 2022 and somehow it didn't get registered to the right fine, and it's been increasing ever since, and now the bailiffs come knocking, well, as far as you're concerned, that's been paid. So when they come knocking, oh my God, it's a whole calamity. This doesn't feel like that. This feels like the first one, okay? Hopefully that helps, my darling. I'm going to go across to the live chat. Let me come back on the other camera. Hang on, that one. So I'm going to go across to the live chat. Right. You've been feeling impatient recently and feel like you've come to a standstill. Absolutely. That's the Temperance, 100%. That makes a lot of sense, as you've been struggling massively mentally and emotionally due to Balto not being well, Vets messing up, and being at a standstill. Yeah, I think you've still got some more to get through before things get easier. But this is all foreseeable and dealable. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're going to suddenly find yourself, I don't know, you know, living in a war-torn country, or you're not going to suddenly find yourself, you know, with COVID 15 times in a row and, you know, locked into your house because you've been told you can't go out, or, you know what I mean? It's not going to be some big like shock surprise. Oh my God. This challenge, the 4s for me are always like they're stable tables, you know what I mean? But yeah, hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. Yes, great advice there, Ed. This is why I love this community. You see, if you look up My Wellbeing on Google, it's called, is it called My Wellbeing Space, or is it just My Wellbeing? But yeah, look up My Wellbeing on Google. There's all sorts of advice and stuff there that they might be able to help. And you're okay, and you're getting more help as the police are now aware. Right. So that's exactly it then, Wolf Boyo. That's exactly it. So it feels like the problems aren't going to go away, but they're not going to get any better. They're not going to get any worse. You're not going to suddenly go and everything comes up shit. So just keep dealing with things in small chunks. If something, think of problems, right? Listen, this is a tip. Think of problems and obstacles like one of those giant Toblerones you get at Christmas. You know, like the really massive, like oversized 2-foot long ones, whatever they are, right? You don't eat that in a whole sitting, do you? You don't just go and swallow it all. You have to bite off a chunk, and then that chunk you have to like bite off another chunk, and then chunk of a chunk and a chunk of it. So you have to like pull it into pieces to be able to eat one of the chunks of the Toblerone because they're so bloody big. So it's like that. If you've got problems that are challenges that you're dealing with on a regular basis, break it down into smaller chunks and then deal with it, if that makes sense. Like a big Toblerone, eat it in small bits. Anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to go to Naidu94, who hasn't been here before, and then we're going to go to Paridi. So Naidu94. I haven't seen you on this channel before, so good evening and welcome to yourself. And then I've got Paridi, and I think, did I not see? I thought I saw another question in the chat. Naidu or Naidu94, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat, please. Hang on a second, mods. Yes, no, I agree. Yes. Have we got Naidu? Naidu's here. Fabulous. Right. Fabulous. Look at that. This is just look at the comments. Wolf Boyo. I nearly said your real name then. Wolf Boyo, just look at the comments. Look at all that warmth with people sending love and hugs and support. Absolutely bloody amazing. Amazing. You're very loved on this channel. You really are. You really are. So, right then, everybody, let's crack on. I've got Naidu94 here, and Dragons. We're going to do their reading straight after this little timestamp. Where's my button gone? I've lost the button. Oh, I really have as well. Hang on. I'm a professional YouTuber. Right, there we go. Oh, no, you're not supposed to see me there. You're supposed to see. Why did that not? Oh, the gremlins are back. I don't know what is happening with the gremlins. Right then, Naidu, let's have a look. A question. How will what will my future spouse be like? Okay, Naidu. So let's have a look then, Dragons. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn half the deck. Right, you're watching me now, everybody. I'm turning half the deck. Yeah, that way. So at least half the deck is now split. It was already, but because we keep getting so many reversals on tonight's stream, and this is not a shuffle for you, Naidu. Don't worry. This is just a cleansing shuffle. Right. There we go. So then, Dragons. There we go, Dragons. Naidu94 would like to know, what will their future spouse be like? How will their future spouse be? So that's what we want to know, Dragons. So then, what will Naidu94's future spouse be like? We've had a card jump. Oh, it's the Ace of Cups. Ace is about new beginnings, but Cups, look at the heart. Cups is all about your emotional suit. So that sounds really interesting. This is your clarifying card, Naidu. And basically what that means is it's going to filter the other three cards that I lay down here. The other three cards are going to get filtered through the Ace of Cups. Or in a standard playing card deck, it would be the equivalent of the Ace of Hearts. So yes, interesting. We've got a love card there already. So, we've got the Nine of Cups coming up again. That's another a repeat, but also a cup card. The Seven of Pentacles, and we've got the Wheel reversed. Right then. So, first of all, let's have a look at this cup card. The 9 is in your past position. So this is, hang on a second. Right, we're not going to do past, present, future. We're doing what is your spouse like. So these will be the character traits. Okay, character traits of your spouse. Right. Okay. By the way, hang on. I'm I'm getting very warm in this back room. It's almost like anybody would think spring was springing or something, because it is very warm all of a sudden. Let me just bear with me, everybody. Sorry about this. So the 9 of Cups, Naidu, is, again, we had it just earlier. It's a beautiful card that is talking about emotions being very, very positive. So when we're talking about your spouse and somebody that you want to share your life with, this is an amazing card to have, because it's a card that is full of love and full of absolute joy, because it's literally saying that, like, this love, this emotion is the biggest treasure that you can have. Okay, so this treasure here is nothing compared to the joy and the love that this person's going to bring. So it almost feels like the future spouse will, they're just going to be full of love. Do you know how some people just resonate love, don't they? You look at them and they're almost glowing with pink radiant, and well, almost, yeah, exactly, almost like this, look, with glowing pink radiant energy. Now the Ace of Cups has come up reversed, but even reversed, the Ace of Cups is still incredibly positive. It just means that this is the newness, when you meet your spouse, the reversal is basically saying to me that it's going to be somehow really unexpected. There's going to be this really odd way that you're going to connect. So I don't think it's going to be the standard. I don't think it's going to be like, somebody that you already know, or friend of a friend, or family connection, or anything like that. It feels like this connection is going to be, it's going to be one of those strange ones that you tell your grandchildren about. It's like, oh, we met in the library the day before it was being bulldozed, or we met in the local I don't know, the local greengrocers when we both reached for the same pineapple, and then I let her have it, and then that was it. She invited me to maybe have a slice of pineapple later in the day, and then that got us talking, and then 53 years later we're still married. It's kind of like that sort of story where that this comes in. It's a different way of connecting with them. The energy you've got in at the present. See, I keep trying to do a blooming past, present, future. The energy that will be kind of be the core of this person, right? So you know that they're going to be loving, the core, like the root of who they are. We've got this hardworking, again, root, this hardworking connection. But also, so Pentacles is always work, career, money, finances. But this deck I love because it really does talk about this being rooted into the ground, rooted into community, rooted into a solid base. This is somebody who's totally grounded. The fact that it's reversed just means that this might not be apparent when you first meet them. So when you first meet, again, especially because it feels like you're going to meet in a very odd circumstance, it will be somebody who you might, on the surface, they might seem a little bit like, I don't know, that like, oh, they're just passing through the town. But then you realize they've got an allotment, or then you realize that actually, that although they're talking about moving to a larger city, they want to have a house in the same, in the town where you are. You know what I mean? It's like they've got plans to move on, but they still want to have their roots really locked down into wherever it is that you know them, however you know them. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it kind of does to me, because it's describing a sort of person that basically says, yes, I want to advance, and yes, I want to do things with my life and with my career, and I want to advance and go somewhere, but also I want to stay true to who I am, and I want to stay true to my roots and my physical connection, like to the village, to the town. Even though I might end up living in the capital, I still want to be, at heart, I'm always going to be a small town, sort of a small towner at heart. Does that make sense? So I don't know whether that's even something that you're drawn to. If you tell me that you're drawn to people who are like go-getters and you must get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go and get that $1 million contract, this isn't that. This is somebody who will happily go and do that hard, fast life, but wants to have this solid grounding at their roots, where they come from. And the sevens are really, it's a nice card, because it's like it's showing it's showing advancement, like it's showing that there is more to this than just pie in the sky, more to this than just wishing. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune coming up. Now this is for character traits for someone. This is basically saying that this person is going to keep you on your toes, Naidu. They are going to keep you on your toes. They are going to spin things. They're going to take opportunities when they come up. For you, it's going to feel a little bit busy and a little bit hectic, which is why this is reversed. But they are going to take opportunities where they come. So if they get a phone call that says, look, there's a job offer happening 300 miles away, do you want to come for an interview? They'll be like, yay, let's go for an interview. If they're the sort of person that, you know, a friend rings up and says, oh, guess what? I've just won a holiday for 2 to Canada next week, but I can't go. Do you fancy it? This person would be like, yeah, okay. I've got a bag packed. I'll just nip out into the bank and get some Canadian dollars, and away we go. And it's that sort of adventurous spirit where they're going to take risks and they're going to have fun in life. Okay, that is kind of what it feels like. Now, hopefully, these traits are compatible to you, because if they're not, that's going to be really interesting, I do. But there you are. That is what the cards are giving me this evening, my darling. So thank you ever so much for your question. Let me jump to the other camera so I can move this one out of the way. There we go. So then let me have a look in the live chat. Naidu, are you commenting? Oh, no comments on there. No comments at the moment, but hopefully that makes sense, Naidu. It feels like it's somebody, your spouse will be somebody who will keep you on your toes, but absolutely will come back to this grounded, loving, family type bond, and that will be really important to them. Family and that connection will be really important to them, whilst also maintaining that sense of fun throughout their life, basically, I think. So yes, absolutely no problem at all. Ruksha Tiwana LMS batch 3. I don't even know whether your question is in, my darling. Let me have a look. You can ask a question. We do have questions in. The questions at the moment, right, you're just spamming the chat now, my darling. So because you're just spamming the chat, if you keep spamming the chat, the mods will just boot you, basically. So can you not spam the chat, please? You can ask a question, start with the word question and put it into the live chat, and then it will go in on the list. There is a list of people ahead of you, my darling. And so if we can get to you, I will do. But at the moment, there is a list of people ahead of you. So put the word question, start your question with the word question, and then we will get to it if and when we can. But that is the way that you get a question on this channel, my darling. So then, right, thank you ever so much, Naidu. Let's have a look. Who did I say was next? Paridi Agrawal. If you're here, my darling, come and say hello in that live chat. I need to just oh gosh, my back is really not great at the moment, but that chair is now far too high. So did I have I had painkillers today? What days even is it? I don't even know what day we're on. Hang on, let me just raise this up. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. I know, right? You're not here to hear me sing. Good Lord, nobody's here to hear me sing. Paridi's here. Hi. Right. You have to start the word Ruksha. You have to put the word question starting in front of your question. Okay. I will star your question. I'll get your question in, and I will see if there is time, then I will get to your question. But as I've said, and as the mods are saying in the chat, you need to start with the word question. It's on the ticker tape there. It's literally just gone there. It's in for now. but next time you have to put the word question. You have to start with the word question, my darling. Right. I'm just going to put my glasses on because I'm really struggling to see the screen for some reason today. Paridi, you want a general reading for May. Okay, my darling. Your question is coming up straight after this.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Indeed. Right then, let's have a look. So then, dragons. Paridi Agrawal would like... Oh, what is going on? Why has my question just flipped? Right. Paridi would like to know, would like to have a general reading, please, for May. So that's what we would like, a general reading for May. Let's have a look there for you. A general reading for May. Right then. Dragons. A general reading for the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever. I don't quite know. It's 4.5 weeks, isn't it? So the next 4.5 weeks, dragons, that's what we would like, please. These cards shuffle so well. We've had a card flip. Look at that. You couldn't ask for a more definitive flip. Thank you, Wispy. So then we've got the Queen of Wands coming up. So Wands for me, Paridi, is all about your sense of self, your sense of confidence, your sense of who you are in the world. Now, the queens are quite self-assured. They're very confident in what they do, but that can sometimes come across as arrogant, or it can come across as being... how can I put it? It can come across as being full of themselves, if that makes sense. So it's just something to bear in mind. But you can see here, look, the Queen of Wands, she's lit all of these candles. This spark of energy here and the sun setting is all because the wands is the connected to the element of fire. So she's wearing this gorgeous orange sort of Harlem pants type thing. And she's got this fire energy all around her. And you can even see here, we've got the fire, the symbol for fire here on her hoodie, on the little straps with the triangles. So it's really, really well suited for more for summer than spring. But it's a very confident card. Just be careful that confidence can sometimes spill over into arrogance, or into like yeah, I guess just into arrogance. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, let's do your drop. Oh, a little bit lower than I thought. Right then, we've got Temperance again with Temperance. Wow. Right, so Temperance, I pretty much said it all last time. So this is the energy that you've got leaving April, coming into May, and it's about patience. It's about waiting. It's about waiting for situations to be improved. It's about trying to negotiate a way through that is going to be suitable for both parties, if that makes sense. Let me just raise this one up slightly. There we go. And it really is talking about finding that middle ground, finding that way between, that negotiation between the light and the dark, between the moon and the sun. Now this is reversed, as I said, so this does mean that the patient element, I think, is something that you're really struggling with at the moment. You're struggling to have that sort of sense of it will come right. I've just got to stay true, and have that inner patience, and to have that ability to basically trust the universe that it will come. Because as I said earlier, temperance is the art of actually making a softer metal harder. It tempers it over time, it hardens it, strengthens it. So that patience, that learning, this is very much linked in with the Hangman card. It's about kind of that element of sacrifice and waiting. Now, in this case, it's less about sacrificing oneself and trying to find the middle ground between two opposing values. So it's that light and dark. It's that liminal space, basically. The Temperance card is very liminal in that it's between those two polar opposites, and it's about trying to find a way that something is so either or, you can actually have this middle ground where they come together. Neither one gets the absolute element, so neither one is an absolute, but both of them kind of combine and sort of they settle, if you like, in the middle. They work together, they find that negotiated path through. Now in the present, and this is the energy that's going to be with you for the next 3 weeks-ish, I would say. We've got the 9 of Wands. Now, again, Wands is about security, but this is in a much different position to the Queen. This is saying that that confidence is coming, that sense of protection and that sense of place in the universe is coming. It's building, it's getting there. But there is something here, because we're only at the 9, there is something here that is almost, especially coming after this, it's almost like it's not yet, you're not done yet. There's something here that hasn't been fulfilled and you're waiting for this to be fulfilled. And this element of impatience, this element of things haven't been done yet, things should have been done by now, this element of impatience is kind of giving us a little bit of frustration with the 9. Now, normally the 9s are quite positive. You're almost at the end of the journey. It's time where you can almost start resting. But this person does not look as if they're resting, do they? This person, look at the look on their face. They're absolutely like, yeah, come on then. Come on then, whatever. We ain't done yet. So there's still something here that you've got to achieve. Now, I think this is more likely in your, it will be in your personal life that isn't work or romance. Does that make sense? So we're not talking about your romantic life. We're not talking about your work life. It's kind of like your friendships. It's around your place in the universe, if that makes sense, because that's what Wands are for me. So it's about that element of who you know yourself to be. I think there's still a little bit of uncertainty here. So yeah, that's something that you just need to bear in mind, because again, with this overbearing Queen coming in, it kind of feels like there's a bit of a bit of a disconnect. It's like on one hand, in one aspect of your life, you've got this overriding confidence, this verging on arrogance, this like, look, this is what I am, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is my way. And then underneath that, literally on a subconscious level, you've got this doubt creeping in that actually you're not as complete as you think you are. And that is directly fed into from this impatience, from this things not being quite done yet. But then coming up towards the end of May and certainly into the beginning of June, I think you're in for a celebration. You've got the 10 of Pentacles. Again, Pentacles tends to be work. It tends to be finances. It tends to be things like that. Especially when, look at this card. Look at the joy in this card. You've got people having parties. The kids are playing ring a roses or whatever they do. The kids are dancing here. You know, even the dog's invited to the party. This is a celebration of success. It really, really is a celebration of wealth and success. So it feels like if there's something you're waiting on, if there's an answer you're waiting on, if there is a job offer, if there is a promotion, if there is anything like that you are currently waiting on, it feels like end of May into the first 2 weeks of June, that answer should come. But be careful, because this isn't set in stone yet. And this warning, this warning card could stick a pin in it, if that makes sense. It could stick a spoke in the wheel. Is that right? Is that the right term? A stick in the spokes. You know what I mean. It could cause it to go a bit wibbly. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Paridi, I hope that helps, my darling. That is going to be your reading for today. It feels very much like overall May's going to be okay, but there's some stuff to work on internally, because this is not this is not the happiest of people in this card. It's why I like this deck, because with you'll tend to see the decks I use a lot are decks that have nuances within the numbers. So even though the 9 of Wands is normally this really positive, happy, like everything's coming up roses, we're doing really well, blah 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 blah, this particular drawing on this particular card has a separate meaning. It changes that nuance, and this is why I work with certain decks. But yeah, hopefully things go well. Certainly by the middle of June, it feels like everything's going to be coming up a lot better, and a lot more financial success coming your way towards the end of the month and certainly into June. Anyway, thank you very much, Paridi, for your question. And that is your reading for today. Let me just switch to the other camera. There we go. So then let's have a look in the chat. Your birthday is the last week of May. Fantastic. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Wow, what's the song? Happy I can't remember it. There was a song that was happy birthday. A birthday to you. The happy birthday. The something. A happy birthday. I do not know the words, but happy birthday for something in May. I don't know when that is. But there you go, my darling. That is your reading for today. Thank you very much for your question. Good evening to everybody who is just joining us and saying you are new here tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you go ahead and ding your bell. Oh no, hang on. There we go. That's the bell one. So that YouTube notifies you each and every time I upload a video. If you would like a tarot reading on tonight's stream, then you do need to be subscribed to this channel. Okay. Once you subscribe to the channel for 5 minutes, you're able to put comments into the chat. And if you would like a question, all you need to do is start your question with the word question. So literally write the word question and then put your question into the chat. And if we've got time, we'll go through them for you. So yeah, that's what you do on this here channel. Don't forget, you can skip the queue by QJumping over here at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can skip the queue, join our memberships, support me in other ways. There's lots of things you can do over there. You can even book a private reading there now. We've sorted all of that out. And I've got to say, the prices over there are actually better than they will be if you saw me in person at a fair. ... That might be happening sometime soon. Fingers crossed. Anyway, right, let's have a look and see who is next in the chat. Akash Singh. Akash Singh, if you're here, come and say hello. Following Akash Singh, we will be having Aqua Witch. So Akash Singh, and then Aqua Witch. If you're here, come and say hello. Rabina's here. Good evening, Rabina. I hope you are well. Haven't seen you for a long time, my darling. I hope you're doing okay. Akash Singh. My eyes look beautiful. Oh, thank you. What have I done to my eyes today? Oh, it's the Aldi fake dupe of the Urban Decay Honey Heat palette, Honey Heat or something. I can't remember. It's like all the golds and the mustards and all of that. So that's what I put on today. I don't normally wear it, so thank you. Thank you for noticing, Rabina. That's lovely. Akash Singh is here. Fantastic. Right then, Akash, we're going to do your question, and we're going to start it straight after this. Here we go, Akash. So I've got your question up on the screen in front of me. Dragons. Akash would like to know, they're planning to write notes in form. Oh, hang on a second. Let me get that question up. Planning to write notes in form of book for my mates. Will they be successful? Planning to write notes in form of a book for your mates. Will they be successful? I'm not quite sure what that question means, Akash. Can you just clarify it in the... Can you clarify it in the doodah, please? Can you clarify what you mean, my darling? You're planning to write notes in the form of a book for your mates. Do you mean you're writing a book, and will that be successful? Is that what you're wanting to know about a book that you are writing? Planning to write a note, short notes from long books, handwritten notes, and sell them. For your colleagues, okay. Oh my god, what are they called? You can get like an abridged version of a textbook or something. Is it something like that? Yeah, okay. Right, fabulous. I've got what you're saying. I know what you mean. There is a name for it, and I can't remember what they are. Bridge notes. I think it's bridge notes. I think that's what I mean. Anyway, I know what I mean, even if nobody else does. The dragons will know what I mean. Dragons. So then, Akash Singh would like to know, they're going to do some abridged books for colleagues and things at work. Is that going to be successful? Is that going to be successful to basically to do like cut down versions of books and notes for study? Is that going to be a successful thing? So hopefully, Akash, we'll be able to do this quite simply. Dragons, we're going to do 2 cards. We're going to do is this going to be successful, yes or no? And then we want not a whole million cards, dragons, a yes or no success, and then we want a advice or warning depending on which way it comes up. Okay, so we haven't had a card flip apart from dropping about 7 of them. Okay, so then, Akash, let's have a look. So will it be successful, yes or no? King of Swords, probably not, unfortunately. So that's telling me there could be copyright or other legal issues. Look at the beautiful crow. Look at the beautiful crow. Isn't it stunning? Swords is trouble and strife. Swords is all about trouble and strife. Thank you, Ed. Trouble and strife, challenges, obstacles, that sort of thing. So the fact that we've got the king coming up, that's really important. That's almost like a major arcana card. So this is saying that if you do something like that, you will have to go to cross so many bridges, cross so many T's, and dot so many I's. There is so much work to do. It might be more hassle than it's worth, particularly if you're selling them. But advice, I said, didn't I? Advice. Oh, Queen of Wands. So the advice is, right, okay, this is actually interesting. So the King of Swords, that energy is very hard, masculine. This is not somebody that you mess with. This is like a pirateer, a buccaneer, somebody who will quite happily look, their sword is already drawn. You know what I mean? They will quite happily use it. This is not a virgin sword. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of bloodshed with this one. However, the advice is look at it from a nurturing perspective. So you might not be able to make money with this, right? You might not be able to make money at all because of the legal issues, because of the copyright and other things like that. However, by doing it, if you were to go ahead with this, it may well give you experience, which is the wands, that sense of security and confidence, but it may also open up other doors because, again, we've got this spark of this energy here. So it's almost like saying, look, you're not going to be able to sell them because of copyright. However, if you still go ahead and do this and make it for your friends and colleagues, they may be able to help you out in other ways. They may be able to, give you the nod when there are jobs later down the line, or, they might not give you money, but they might be able to take you for dinner or something. You know what I mean? It's like there is a way, not in the way that you think now, but there is a way through. And that way through is to do with your confidence and looking at things from a slightly different perspective. So the queens are more nurturing, they're more giving. So you've got this different energy vibe going on. The king is like, dum, hard, fast, this is the rule. Whereas the queen is like, well, yeah, it's the rule, but some rules we can kind of bend a little bit and play a little bit, and there's maybe something we can do with this, and maybe something we can do with that, and maybe something we can do with the other. So yeah, have a look at that. It feels very much like, no, it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to do financially because of all the copyright and legal issues. However, there is kind of a way through it. There is a way through it. What that is, I don't know. You'll have to investigate, but look at something, maybe doing it more community based, and that will pay off in other ways. That initially you're not going to make a lot of money from it, but it will pay off in other ways because it's a really positive card. Hopefully that helps, my darling. I really, oh gosh, where's my comments gone? There we go. Hopefully that helps. I don't know whether it will. No, nope, it's not possible to earn because of the copyright. So there's copyright issues. Any book that's published, if you were to make an abridged version of it, you would have to get the permission of the author or the publishers, and the copyright holders. So there's a lot of, I mean, it's not impossible, but they do over in the UK. I know that when I was at college and uni, there were, I think they were just called bridge notes. I'm sure that's what they were called. They were like yellow. Does anybody else from the UK remember this? They were like yellow paperbacks, but they were like abridged versions of either workbooks or literature books that you needed. So instead of getting like the whole works of Shakespeare, you would kind of have an abridged cut down version. There's no copyright in India for notes. Well, there's not if you're taking the notes from the lesson, there's not. But if you're taking a handbook and taking if it's a book that's been published, I mean, go for it. You can try it, is basically what I can say. Yeah, handwritten notes can be sold, but if you're the cards are saying no. Put it this way, right? The cards are saying no. There is an issue here around problems, right? The swords are about challenges and obstacles. So the King of Swords is coming in. It's the biggest challenge and obstacle you can get. Okay, literally the hardest challenge and obstacle you can get. Now, okay, I understand that India's laws and rules may be more flexible, but even so, copyright rule and things, you just be bloody careful. Okay, this is saying there's a bunch of challenges. Now, if you can tackle that, you can go for it, have that confidence. You heard me say about this card came up earlier, and can almost go into arrogance and almost go into, you know, hyper belief in oneself, beyond what is reasonable or realistic. But if that's the way you want to take it, just be aware that there are going to be a lot of obstacles and challenges. This King of Swords is the king of challenges, is the king of obstacles, things being put in your way to stop this happening. This is the king of that. It's as high as you can go. Okay, so if you're literally asking the cards, then the answer was a resounding no, and the way to try and get through it is to do it in a nurturing way, to do it in a more holistic and more like taking things out of the I am doing this for financial gain element. If you're looking for financial gain, look somewhere else, basically, is what the cards would be saying. There's nothing here about finances. There's nothing here about this paying off. There is things about, you know, this being your confidence and potentially your arrogance, and there's a lot here about challenges, but that is what the cards are saying. Akash, if you want to risk it, my darling, you know, I've given you the advice of the cards, and it's entirely up to you. As we always say, you do make all of your own decisions about your own life, and all I would say, my darling, is the best of luck to you, and hopefully that's hopefully you can make it work in some way. But thank you very much for your question, and yes, thank you for joining us on tonight's stream. Right then, so next up I've got Aqua Witch. Aqua Witch, are you here on the live stream? If so, come and say hello, my darling. Come and say hello, Aqua Witch. Aqua Witch, are you still here, my darling? I've just gone back and it doesn't look like you're here. Oh no, Aqua Witch, we've got a 20-second countdown, everybody. This is our second one of tonight. 20-second countdown. Aqua Witch, if you're not here, unfortunately, your question is going to get bumped. And it was a good question as well. It was a really good question. Let's have a look. Oh, 6 seconds. Aqua Witch. Oh, no. Aqua Witch, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We called you before this reading, just when I was doing Akasha's reading, and I said you would be next. Come and say hello. You haven't said hello then. You didn't say hello now, which means your question has just been yeeted and you get one of these. I'm so sorry, my darling. Right then, let's have a look at who have we got left on the chat today. Shivani Radhakrishnan. Let's have a look. Why am I seeing the number 33 everywhere? Right, this isn't going to be a tarot answer, Shivani, but look for patterns. Okay, so numerology wise, 33 is quite a positive number, but it does break down to 6. So have a look at what the number 6 means for you. But also, are you just seeing single 33s, or are you seeing, oh gosh, my back, it's because I'm not having my pills. If you're seeing double 33s, it could be angel numbers, like where you see 1111, or if you see a house number and it's literally 3333, that can be a symbol of something. So keep an eye out for things like that. Write them down and make notes. Okay, so keep an eye out if you're seeing certain number patterns repeating. Keep an eye out. Have a look at what they mean, not just what they mean in like occult things, but also for you personally, because it could well be like, for me, 1111 is nothing, right? I see that often, but mainly because I'm always awake at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm normally awake by 11 o'clock in the morning. So it's sort of one of those things where I'm always aware of the time as we're getting towards midnight, where I'm thinking, oh, I should probably go to bed soon. I don't. I think I should, but I don't. And then in the other way, like 11 in the morning is normally when I'm getting up, if not a bit beforehand, but I'm normally up by that, because normally we don't go to bed don't get to sleep till 4 or 5. So I'm up at 11 to let the dogs out and do all of their business. So it's that sort of thing. For me, that isn't an angel number. It's just because I'm awake and I'm aware of the time and I'm looking. And 1111, I will see some days, and other days I'll see 1125 or 11:09. So it doesn't really make a lot for me. But if there are numbers repeating, it could be that there is something here that the universe is trying to tell you. So look for what that pattern means for you specifically. For me, 33 means nothing. It doesn't have any connection to me personally. 3 does, but it would be 333. So 3 3s would have more of an impact, or 9 would have an impact. 3 doesn't really mean anything. So for me, but for you, it could be something really insightful. It could be like the number of the house that you lived in when you were 7 or something. You know what I mean? It could have something really strongly connected to you. So from your perspective, keep an eye out on that. Jot it down when you see it. Keep an eye out on those things. Actually, Ed, as far as I can see, it's 2033 right now. 2033. So again, it's another number 3, another 33. Literally, it's 2033 according to my laptop timer clock. So yeah, so that's what I would say, Shivani. Have a look at things like that. Have a look at what that means for you. It's not, the cards aren't going to be able to tell you, because it's not a numerology based system, although there's elements of numerology in it. It's not, it's not going to tell you what 33 means. But if you're seeing repeated patterns in numbers, if you're seeing these repeats happening, almost like a glitch in the matrix, keep an eye out for them and maybe try following them. If you see a bus turn up and it's got number 33 on it, where's the bus going? Might be worth jumping on and going, oh, I'll just have a single all the way round ticket, please, or whatever it is. If you see somebody and they say, oh, it's my 33rd birthday today, would you like a drink? Would you want to come out for maybe that's somebody you need to meet and go for a drink with. Who knows? Keep an eye out for you. Write them down when you see them, because that's the important thing, right? Write them down. Oh yes, Patricia, that's a very good idea. Patricia says, if you gamble, put a bet on 33. if there's a horse race coming up and number 33 says Shivani's winner, I wouldn't bet your house on it, but you know, it might be worth a little tiny flutter, a little bit of spare pocket money going on that bet. Who knows? But for me, it's about what those numbers mean for you personally. And if you've got a story, if there's any connection that you have to 3s or 33, then follow that route. And again, jump on the number 33 bus. You might meet your future lover. Who knows? Who can say? But anyway, thank you very much for the question. And yeah, I hope it helped. Who knows? Hope so. I don't think you're here in the live anyway, Shivani, because you've not commented anything in the chat. But anyway, hopefully that's helped, and hopefully we've answered it without doing a reading. Svetlana, you're up next, and then Fitzen. So Svetlana, let me have a look. I've got your question here. Svetlana Dimitrova. Svetlana Dimitrova, if you are here, come and say hello in that there live. While you do that, I'm just going over and just double checking on the Buy Me a Coffee dashboard. Just making sure that nobody's QJumped and I haven't realized. Bear with, it's just loading. Oh gosh, hang on, it's making me log back in. I love security measures when they time you out. It's like, I've only been on here. I've only been on what, an hour and a half. I haven't even been on here for days. Svetlana's here. Fantastic. I've got you in, my darling. We've got nobody's queue jumped. So Svetlana, you are next. What to expect next in my love life? Aha. Let's have a look, Svetlana. And oh, hang on. I've got some music for this here. Almost. We'll see. Right then, dragons, we're going to do Svetlana's question. It's going to come up straight after this. Hang on, where is it? There we go.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Again, that isn't long enough. I need it to be about 3 seconds longer so I can write everybody's name down and swap the cameras around. Right. Let me put my specs on. I know, right? That's when you know you're turning into a little old lady. Well, not a little old lady, am I? But a little old lady when you need to put your specs on to have a look at your blooming tarot cards. Gosh. Right, Svetlana, let's have a look. What to expect? Oh, by the way, we're out of time now, so there's no more questions, by the way, today. Svetlana, let's have a look. What to expect next in my love life? Dragons. Svetlana would like a heads up, please. What is coming up in Svetlana's love life? That's what we want to know. Is it going to be a really nice, a really nice kind of, oh, hang on. We had a card flip and it is, it's the King of Swords again. So this is a modifier. So the King of Swords, I think your love life's going to have some interesting twists and turns coming up, Svetlana, put it that way. Some possible challenges ahead. I don't know if you're in a relationship at the moment, but if you aren't, it all depends on if you like bad boys or not, because this does feel like a bit of a bad boy. This really does. And less of a boy, more of a rugged, you know, I mean, look, it's like it's a rugged older gentleman who's quite handsome and kind of, you know, piratey, swathy, just sort of Johnny Depp in his older years, but trim. You know what I mean? It's that sort of vibe about it. But it is absolutely, it is absolutely bringing the challenge. But we're not going to hold that to anything. We're going to do your cut. So let's just see where the cards fall. Let's have a look. Oops, hang on. That one. Oh, we've got 3 reversed cards. Right, so let's have a look. We've got the 10 of Wands. Now that's interesting. So the 10 of Wands, normally we talk about security, and for me the 10 of Wands is all about confidence, and this is about getting to the point in life where you're able to make it on your own, to reach out and go and find your own tribe, your own space, go and find what the world means for you. So we've got this person, as you can see, who's literally carried everything, packed everything up, much better than the Fool, I should say. Packed everything up, and they've put stuff in a suitcase. They've got their belongings. They've got all of this. The wands are being used here as torches to guide the way. Now, is this the guiding the way they've gone? Have they come from the mountain and they're walking down? Have they paused? Now they're going back up the mountain? Who knows? It feels very much like this is their journey, their onward journey. Now, this is reversed, which means that there is a little bit of a hiccup here. It does feel like this journey that you're going on may not be as easy as it could be, put it that way. I think you're confident enough, and I think you're experienced enough and ready for it. It's just almost like it's not going to be what you think right now. Does that make sense? So whether that's about having a new partner, or whether that's, you know, embracing an ex-partnership, it still kind of feels like there's a lot going on right now, and a lot to come, because this feels like you've reached the pinnacle of where you can be. And remember, this is in the past position. This is the energy that is with you, kind of leaving you right now. This is what's been bubbling under for the last couple of weeks. Now, those of you that know tarot and don't know this this deck, look how wonderfully different this card is. This is the Hierophant. Now, this is the upright version. I'll show you it reversed in a second. But the Hierophant is normally seen as the Pope, and it's normally seen as this really strict religious leader, okay? Like a Pope or like a high priest. It's that very specific, very determined leader, right? Everything's got to be done by the book. Everything's got to be done the leader's way, the Hierophant's way. This is different. This Hierophant is bringing us the spiritual energy that normally we lose with the Hierophant. So this is bringing it back, almost back more towards the High Priestess type energy. So it's bringing us this element here of this journey onwards, this journey to spirit. We've got all of these symbols. It all looks almost like a lotus flower opening up in the sky. We've got this sort of quite trippy hippie kind of dude, barefoot, bracelets, guru type kind of vibe. And for me, this is talking about absolutely following your beliefs. Follow your beliefs entirely. Go with it. Seek out your spiritual betterment. Seek out that journey that your heart is calling for. Okay. Now, this is reversed, so it means that there are going to be some challenges here for you to actually move forward with this. Now, it's interesting that this is coming up in a love reading, because it's talking about moving into, oh my God, am I really going to say this? Moving into a higher vibrational pattern. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Oh, can't believe I just said that.
Oh my.
But it is about that, right? It is about trying to move forward and away from physical and into more spiritual. And so when we're talking about especially what's coming up in your love life, I think maybe this is saying quite a few things about maybe you need to look more for, and again, there's no shaming, but maybe you need to start looking at the spiritual connections with other people and finding those and working those connections rather than a more physical connection. So yeah, it's kind of taking it that way. Does that make sense? So it's bringing you on this road, it's bringing you on this journey. And again, it's really interesting that we start this journey here, and then we've got this climb, this spiritual climb with the Hierophant energy. And then when we go through, we've got this, which is the Hermit. Now, normally the Hermit is talking about disappearing into a cave all on your own to get wisdom. But this is, again, it's reversed, which means now is not the time. And again, this is coming up in the future, in the next few weeks. So this is not going to be the time to necessarily cut yourself off entirely. But the Hermit is always about looking within and seeking out light in the dark places. You've got the lantern, you can just see here, which is a standard of all Hermit cards. Well, 90% of the hermit cards, depending on the design of the deck, you'll find the lantern, because the lantern is seeking out the dark places within us, our hidden places, our dark corners, the things we hide, our secrets. It's wanting to shine light in those areas so that we can better understand ourselves. And so the hermit here, but by coming up in this position, is saying that actually, I think you have a journey, Svetlana, for yourself. This isn't about another person. This is about you finding this inner journey and this inner love before you then go and connect with other people. So it sounds really hippie, and it really is. Oh my. It's this weird sort of, oh, am I really saying this? But it is this element where you are having to connect with yourself. And I'm about to quote, are you ready? If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? Can I get an amen in here? Yes, that is RuPaul, but it's genuine. It's like you need to be comfortable with all of your dark secrets and all your dark places, because if there's any areas of your life, your personality, your consciousness, your soul, any areas there that you are trying to hide and play down and not show other people, then when you do find that loved one, when you do find that special person, that twin soul, all of that, they're going to find those corners. Like my other half, it was one of the first things that we had to kind of sit down and do, was to have a deep and meaningful. And there was lots of things that we did with that. And there were lots of discussions, and even to the point where it was like, right, okay, we've had a bit of a kiss and a cuddle on the sofa. So now we're moving on to the next step. Right then, right, let's get naked. Right, that's my body. Can you work with that? That's your body. Can I work with that? Yes, we can. Right then, let's move forward. And there had to be, literally, it was that frank, because there were certain things, and just the way that we are with each other, we're very relaxed and very comfortable around each other. But it was just one of those things where we were like, look, let's just move forward. And with all of this is talking that same thing. It's about finding out what is in your dark places. Okay, the fact that we start with wands, we start with this element about your own security, your own knowledge of yourself. We go through this journey with the Hierophant reversed, which is talking about this positive spiritual journey without the restraints of the Hierophant. And then we go into the Hermit reverse, which is talking about, look, this is not the time to disappear inwards. This is the time to kind of, you don't want to be like a snail. You know, when a snail's in its shell and it kind of sticks the two little antennae out, and then if it touches anything, it goes and it recoils back in. That's not what you need to be doing right now. You need to have this and be constantly looking within and making peace with what's within, but doing so in a way that isn't shutting you out from the rest of the world. Okay. And this King of Swords coming in, I think this is talking about this overall journey that you've got, because this feels like, let me be brutally honest, Svetlana, right? If you go from this 10 of Wands through to the Hermit over the next few months or over the next few weeks, however long this journey takes, you are probably not going to be in a romantic, physical, jiggy relationship at the end of this. But what you will be is ready to receive true love, authentic love, and that connection that is going to be the connections that stand the test of time. Okay, so this is proper learning to love yourself and then being able to accept love from someone else. Okay, I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. But that is your reading for today. So it doesn't appear as if there's going to be any tall, dark, handsome strangers. I mean, you know, not dark, but grey, a silver fox. Don't mind if I do. Now my husband's got a few grey hairs. It's becoming a silver fox. Very nice, very attractive is all I can say. But yes, it doesn't feel like there's going to be a big jiggy with it, but it does feel like you've got a journey there, my darling, and I wish you nothing but the very, very best. Right then, the last question we've got in. Oh, why is my mouse not working? Hello. Oh, there we go. I've got it. Oh. Fitzun Fit Son, if you're here, my darling, come and say hello in the live chat. Fit Son, come and say hello in that there live chat. Thank you very much. I know, right? Svetlana. Hang on, where's these? I mean, hello. Where was that card? I was gonna make a joke, but I needed the king there. Oh, where is it? Quick. Fitson, bear with Fitson. Hang on. This is worth it. This joke is absolutely worth it. I promise. There we go. I don't know about Fitson, Svetlana, but I can see a fit daddy. Am I right? Fit son, because the name is Fit Son, and this is a fit daddy because he's grey. Fit son, fit daddy, fit son, fit daddy, fit son. Fit... Yeah, anyway, that was worth it, wasn't it? That was that was a very funny joke. Oh, that was a very funny joke. Did you like my very funny joke? It was very funny. Yes, we all laughed. Yes, lots of people laughing. Oh, I've made myself chuckle. Well, at least somebody laughed, even if it was only me. Oh, I know, right? Right then. That's what it needed. Yes, Ed, that's what it needed. Right then, Fitzern, I've got your question up. You would like a reading for May into June. We'll do that for you now, my darling. Dragons. Fitzern would like a general reading for the energy leaving April, coming into May, and going all the way into June. That's what we'd like. So then let's have a look. Whoopsie. We've had a card jump. It is the 8 of Pentacles. Ooh. So your clarifying card is all about work and perhaps work-life balance, Fitzen. So what I would say, my darling, is straight away on this card, it's come up reversed, right? Which basically... the reversal is literally saying that it feels like you're working yourself too hard doing all of the officey type stuff, all of the physical type stuff, all of the stuff. And it's, you can see this person's lit the candle, right? So they're trying to find this peace within the workload, where they're trying to find this sort of mindfulness within the chaos, if that makes sense. But there's a bit of a struggle going on because this is reversed. So even in the chaos, it's still worth trying to find this sense of peace and this sense of calm, even in amongst the absolute bedlam and mayhem that's going on around you at work. So let's have a look. Now, work could be study. It could be, you know, physical work, as in like your job. It could be something that you are working on, like shadow work or recovering from trauma. It could be something like that you are actively working on. It's whatever that term means for you. Traditional tarot readers would only say it's like your career. This is just your money. But actually, for me, it's a lot wider than that. It's a lot more open. So then we've got the Knight of Wands coming up as to what's been going on. The energy of where we are at the moment, we've got the moon, which fits with this absolutely fantastically. And then the energy into June, we've got the Knight of Swords, right? So you've got 2 Knight energy cards coming up, which is interesting. So the first one to deal with is the Knight of Wands. Now, again, we've got this fire element coming in here with the drums and with the wands themselves. Now, knights are what I always describe as teenage energy. It's that slightly more rebellious energy. Knights are the ones who don't think about the repercussions of their actions. And even if they did, they go ahead and do it anyway, because they're just that way inclined. So knights are the type of people in the tarot deck who go, do you know what? I don't care if saying this will offend you. I'm going to say it anyway. And whereas the queens and the kings might say, what I'm going to say is going to offend you, so therefore I'm not going to say it, because they're wiser and they've got more years. The knights will go, I don't know if what I say, or I think what I'm going to say is going to offend you, and I'm going to say it anyway because I don't care. It's that sort of vibe. Okay, so it feels like April's been quite topsy-turvy. I would say definitely within the workplace there's been a lot of perhaps deadlines to meet. If you're studying, there's lots of deadlines around that. It feels very much like you've had a lot of pressure on you from the workplace or from the study place, whatever it is that relates to. And it feels like it's kind of been, for you, it's kind of been like a bit of a kickback to that, and whether or not it's something that you handle very well. I know for me, right, spoilers, don't tell anybody, don't tell the moderators, but I'm one of those people, right? If someone tells me what to do, I get really arsey and tell them to fuck off. I know I can't help myself. I really can't help myself, right? I don't deal well with authority figures unless it's somebody I respect. If it's somebody who just happens to be your boss, right? They just happen to be your boss and they go, oh, you've got to do this. I go, why? That doesn't make any sense to me. I question that. And that's what this card is saying, right? So that feels like it's the energy that you are happily leaving behind it as we get out of April's energy and we get into May. May brings the moon. Now, the moon is all about intuition, inward gazing, trusting your instincts, trusting your gut, trusting the universe. So if you've got a vibe about something, to follow that, even if it kind of leads you underwater, because eventually you'll turn out that actually you're a mermaid or something. But it does follow this pattern of what you need to do is to actually, this is the Light Seers Tarot. This is actually a really important card when we've got this Eight of Pentacles, right? Because it feels like this person is desperately trying to find this spiritual connection, this spiritual balance, this work-life balance, right? Desperately trying to find this connection, desperately trying to find a way of dealing with all of this. I mean, even it looks like anime, doesn't it? You know, like in an anime where it's like, wah, wah, where it's like, it's that, isn't it? It's like to show action, they do the lines. That's kind of what it feels like to me. But yeah, so this is saying go with your gut, follow your gut throughout this month, right? If you've had enough at work and you need a rest day, take a bloody rest day before you collapse, right? If you're studying and you've forgotten everything else about food and exercise and water and, you know, hydration and everything else, and you have been flat out, follow your gut. When your gut says you're running on empty, you're running on fumes, don't keep running. Take a bloody break, because this is literally saying like this is burnout here. I mean, literally, you know, wands is fire. It is the element of fire. And then we've got here the Knight of Swords coming in the future, in the end of May, beginning of June. Now, this is talking about even more obstacles and challenges. Okay, now in this case the swords is actually a crossbow, but you can see here, look at this, my favorite bird of all time, my favorite spirit animal, my favorite guide apart from my dragons, it's the crows. But you can see here that this person is running, this knight, this is replacing the horse. So this knight is acting, they are going on the hunt, they are active, this feels right. I tell you what this feels like, Fitzen. In May, if you get a chance to stop, because in June you're going to be running. That's what it feels like, right? This is your moment. This feels like April's been hectic. May is still hectic, but you've got a chance, you've got a window here. When you get the right moment, when you get your vibe and you're like, look, I need to just take a couple of days, I need to take an afternoon, whatever it is, whatever you can squeeze in. I need to do something for me, I need to do something for my sanity, right? That is what this is saying, because June is going to bring even more get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. So hopefully, my darling, that makes some sort of sense. It's a little bit concerning that these have come up this way, right? It is a little bit concerning, because I think you need to take a break. You need desperately to try and get some element of work-life balance. You really, really, really do. And I think whatever you're doing with your life at the moment, whatever you're working or studying or whatever's going on, whatever trials and tribulations there are around you right now, it feels like May could be the only chance you get to stop and pause and try and recalibrate before you get back into a hectic summer with the Knight of Swords. Now, this Knight of Swords isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not saying that like trouble's coming your way. It just feels like there's a lot going on, and you've got there's a lot of action that you're going to be involved in next month. So if you get a chance, my darling, stop, smell the roses, drink your coffee, have a nap, whatever it is you need to do. Stop, pause, listen to your gut, listen to that moon calling. We're close to a full moon right now. I think. I lose track. I think we're fairly close to a full moon. This is showing up as a full moon. So maybe it's like as soon as the full moon comes, take a day off, take 2 days off, whatever it is. If you're able to do that, because I think that's really vitally important, especially with this 8. Anyway, hopefully that helps, Fitson. That is your reading for today, my darling. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us this evening. I think it's your first time on the channel, so thank you very much for choosing us here. Also, I've got to say thank you ever so much for the amazing mods. I'm just getting into naps, Ed. I'm just getting into naps. I used to be one of those people that if I try and nap, I'll be asleep for 8 hours. So, and to be fair, I still am. But I'm trying. Full moon on the 5th. See, I knew it was coming up. I knew it was coming up, Fitson. There we go, the 5th. So it's not very far away at all. Yeah, this is the deck. This is the deck. But yes, anyway, thank you very much for being here, Fitson. Thank you very much for choosing this channel. We keep it real. We tell it like it is. We don't bullshit you. And the mods on this channel help keep everybody safe and safe. Yep. And it helps keep everything so wonderful and helps keep everybody in this wonderful community kind of, you know, ticking along nicely. So thank you ever so much to the mods for doing what they've done tonight. Thank you for all of you for coming in and being here. Don't forget, do please go and check out beyondauthentic.co.uk. It is the new channel, sorry, the new website. Oh yeah, it's a stunning deck. It's a really beautiful deck. It's a really I've had it, hang on. Oh, I was just about to finish bang on 9 then. I've had it in this little, I bought it for like £13-14 as a used deck, thinking it was the full size one, and then this turned up. And I won't use like copy decks on the channel, but yeah, you can see, look. So it's interesting. And eventually I was like, right, I need to just get a full size one. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. I've had a really fun evening. I've really enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it as well, please do the YouTubey things. Give us a thumbs up, all of that. Don't forget, we will be back next week at, we'll be back on Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time for a Psychic Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to bring on Sunday. I might do, if I can get the pyrography done for the crystal board, I might do some crystal work as well on Sunday. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Yeah, Aqua Witch, sorry, we called you. But you weren't here, my darling. So you'll have to pop back in on Sunday and hopefully we'll be able to get to you then. But anyway, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you very, very soon. Next Sunday, there should be a video coming up this week. So make sure you stick around for that. Hit your bell. Oh no, that's the wrong buttons. There we go. Ding your bell so that YouTube notifies you each and every time I upload a video. But that is going to be it for me today. Much love to all of you in the replay crew. Thank you so much for boosting the numbers on the videos. I guess people just like me doing readings for others. So thank you so much for all of you that are commenting, and for those of you that are watching on the replay crew. It's amazing. So thank you so much for all of you over there. And yeah, again, I will be back Sunday evening. Until then, as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye-bye.